Hi everybody, it's Honest John again. Now, let me start by saying that I'm no expert in police work. I do understand that it's a dangerous job. Not as dangerous as police would like you to think it is. Statistics show that there are other jobs that have a much higher fatality rate. For example, in 2015, 25 police were killed. And every one of those deaths is a tragedy. However, 2 of those killings were police accidentally discharging their own firearms. So 23 police people, men and women, were killed by other people. And like I said, that's very tragic. But even my old profession of nursing, statistically, has a much higher death rate. But still, credit where it's due, police are running towards situations that other people are running away from. They often have to make very quick decisions in very stressful situations. But I can't help wonder about the quality of the people who are graduating from police academies and the training that they are receiving there. First of all, one of the things that is standard policy in police departments all across the nation is that they automatically eliminate the people who score the highest on the tests that are given to screen applicants. That they look for that middle ground. And I don't think that's a very good idea. I think we want the best people to be accepted into the police academies. And I wonder if the police academies are doing an adequate job of screening for racist attitudes. The problems in the St. Louis area, particularly Ferguson, demonstrate that there were a lot of problems with just simply racist police. Watch commanders who instructed the people before they began their shift to go out and harass black people. Racist emails and social media posts have been fairly common among police departments all over the country. Before the LA riots, when the police would go to a black neighborhood for a domestic disturbance, there would be an abbreviation that they would use, NHI, which stood for No Humans Involved. So, I mean, obviously, there was a generally racist culture in the LA Police Department at that time. And I'm sure that they've made some progress, but really, have they found those racist cops and gotten rid of them all? I doubt it. So it's important that police departments be weeding out racists in their midst, and that the police academies be screening for people who are racist. Because once you become a cop, it's very easy for you to get away with a lot of shit. Other cops cover for you, and as we've seen, the local prosecutors cover for you. So it's important to prevent bad people from becoming cops, because once they get there, it's real hard to get rid of them. And then, you know, I mean, you can have sensitivity training. You can have sensitivity training of police, and that's a good idea for police to understand different attitudes and different approaches that might be helpful. But if a person is an avowed racist, sensitivity training isn't going to do shit. And a badge, a gun, and a blue uniform is a great cover for carrying out a racist agenda. And it isn't just racists that need to be gotten rid of. Bullies, people with no moral compass. It's important to prevent these people from being cops, because when they become cops, it's pretty hard to get rid of them. But there are other issues that need to be addressed in the way police deal with different situations. For example, police are trained to kind of come in like gangbusters and take control of a situation. And that often is the best way to deal with a situation. But when you're dealing with the mentally ill, for example, the exact opposite approach is needed. As somebody who worked in mental hospitals for years, what we were trained in was that when you had a patient who was agitated, that you came in with a low-key attitude, you were patient, you weren't in too much of a hurry to get the situation under control, and you spoke softly and tried to get the patient to settle down and calm down. Because coming in all aggressive and commanding only increases the patient's agitation. So there needs to be a dual track in police training, where they are taught that the way to deal with the usual situation, for example, a bar fight or something like that, is very different than how to deal with, for example, when parents call because their mentally ill children are out of control. They have to deal with that in a whole different manner. And then there's the matter of the shooting of unarmed people. People have been shot while carrying cell phones, pens, combs, their lunch, or having nothing at all in their hands. Now, as I mentioned earlier, it is true that sometimes police have to make very quick decisions in very stressful situations. But a gun looks like a gun, and not many other objects look like guns. I think it would be a good idea for police training to include extensive and intensive training in identifying guns. My friends in the military tell me that when they are under stress, that their training kicks in, and that helps them to function well in those situations. And our military also goes through extensive training in when to shoot and when not to shoot. And I'm wondering if our police get that same amount of intensive training. But they should spend a lot of time and just identifying a gun. Right now, it appears that police are trained to justify a bad shooting instead of preventing it. Thanks for listening.